Good afternoon, Colonel Country, and welcome to another episode of Colonel's Corner. On today's episode, we'll be previewing the Wilkes University women's ice hockey team's 2021-22 season. Our guest today is head coach Earl Utter. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Hey, Adam. Thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here.
We're glad to have you too, Coach. Now let's talk about this upcoming season. You're heading into your fourth year of the program. Can you talk about what your expectations are heading into this season?
Well, yeah, I know that we expect to make the playoffs. I expect, and our players have put the expectations on themselves to continue to develop as hockey players and to reach the playoffs. So I'm pretty excited about that. I know that they are very excited about it. We have some open spots that some new people will be moving into this year, and I look forward to seeing what they can do in those spots.
Now let's talk about the returners you have coming back. You have a handful of players that are coming back for their fourth season.
Yep.
And just in general, players that have gotten valuable experience for us on the ice that are returning. Can you talk about some of those players?
Sure. I think that, you start in net. Allie Jolly this is her fourth year. She's doing a good job for us, working hard in practice. I expect, her goals against average to be under 2.5 probably, and her save percentage to be over 90. I think certainly you look at Alexa, another 4-year player for us. I think that when she gets in the net, she's going to do a good job for us. Kendall Castro, what can you say about Kendall? Or what can't you say about Kendall, I guess is a better way to put it. She does everything that you need. She's always got a smile on her face. And, she has the opportunity to become the leading scorer in Wilkes history this year, which is very exciting for her, very exciting for me, having known that Kendall is the person who scored the first goal in Wilkes history. So I think, from those guys, from a senior standpoint, from a 4-year player standpoint, you have those folks. And then, you have other players who have been playing almost every minute of their time since they've been here. You have Val and Abby on defense. You have Abby Barkless on defense when she gets back from soccer. Certainly up front, you're going to have Julie Patterson. She should do well this year. And certainly, somebody like Gianna Manzi, who hasn't had a lot of time, but is working very hard. Quinn Rodefeld, same way. I think, they're going to grow into good players this year by just being put into that experience. But, in terms of our older, more experienced kids, you have our junior kids that are well experienced now, and certainly Alexa, Allie, and Kendall, who I look for a lot of leadership out of. And, I'm pretty excited about the years they're going to have.
Now let's talk about the newcomers you have joined us on the ice for the first time. What can you tell us about the players that'll be stepping on the ice for their first shift this weekend in a Colonel's uniform?
I think they're very excited about it. Emma is from Buffalo. She played for a good club out in Buffalo. Lots of tournament experience at whether it's the national championship tournament or the state tournament in New York. Sophia also is joining us this year. She's new to us. She's from California. Looking forward to what she brings. She played for the Mighty Ducks, or the Lady Ducks, last year. Again, another kid who's been in a lot of state championships and national championships. So, and then we have Claudia, who, she's young to the game of hockey, but she's a new player here. She's been working her tail off in practice, and she always adds, just an element of hard work and not give up. I don't know what the term for that is, but she never gives up in practice, and she does a good job. So I think these three are going to be significant contributors once they get the feel of what college hockey is like. how it's so much different than where they're used to playing and what they're used to doing. And once they do that, they should be fine.
Now let's talk about our conference expectations. As some people may not know, Wilkes, we participate in two different conferences, both the Middle Atlantic Conference and the United Collegiate Hockey Conference. But for this, can you talk to us about the UCHC, the conference that we play in with the automatic bid into the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, this conference, I think, is, one of the better conferences in the league. Certainly with Norwich and not Norwich, Elmira and William Smith pulling out. That's kind of, I don't want to say it's weak in the league. It's opened the league up for new competitors, new challenges, and new champions to be crowned. So I think that it's a very, very good league. It's always tough when you have to play a Nazareth up there at their place. You have to play a Utica at their place. Certainly, Stevenson, who's in the MAC and in the UCHC, is always difficult. Manhattanville, who's not in the MAC, but is also a difficult team. There's so many difficult teams in this league that you have to strap your helmets on every night, and you have to certainly come to play. And if you don't come to show up, or you don't show up to play, you're going to get smoked. So I look forward to a really competitive league. Certainly we want to finish in the top 8, because the top 8 go to the playoffs. It's going to be a difficult challenge, but I think playing most of those teams last year in the COVID year really helped our sophomores and our freshmen and our sophomores really gain some experience that they're going to need to take on this year. And I think we'll be ready. I'm pretty positive that we'll be ready for the challenge ahead of us in the UCHC.
Now let's talk about this year's schedule. Last year we had a shortened COVID season schedule, as you talked, but this year we're going back to a more of a full traditional schedule that we would normally have. Can you talk about some of the highlights that we can look forward to in this year's slate of games?
Yeah, I think that opening day here with Neumann. Neumann is always tough. I've always had a hard time as a coach competing against Neumann. So, Gina, their coach, always does a great job of preparing their kids. So that's this weekend, our first home game, and new kids and freshmen or kids who are sophomores now who've never played against Neumann, never seen that. I think, the game against Kings, the 2 games against Kings, I think they're going to be emotional, certainly with their coach going through treatment for breast cancer. Those will be emotional games, as all Kings Wilkes games are, but just, with that extra caveat that, hey, this is going to be, their kids are going to be playing extra hard against us, both games. I think anytime you get to play Utica, that's going to be just a barn burner of a match. And certainly I think that Alvernia will be one of those games that we circle as a revenge game. I think we played very well against Alvernia last year, and their goaltender came up with some great saves. We just couldn't solve her that night. We ended up losing 2-0, but I think, those games will be very good, and I'm really looking forward to those games. I think just for me personally, heading up to Canton, which is a place that I like in upstate New York, just heading up there to see some old friends and stuff like that up in upstate New York it'll be good also.
Wilkes University women's ice hockey kicks off the 2021-22 season this Friday when they host Neumann University at the Toyota Sportsplex. Puck drop scheduled for 5 p.m. Coach, thanks for joining us. Good luck this year.
Thanks, Adam. Thanks for having us, and thank you for the interview time.